Okay, Tim, here we are in your 500. The upgrades I've done is bypass the fuses, upgrade the power wire going to this section of the amp. Okay, also upgraded the ground wire and went straight to ground there with your upgraded power cables. Okay, you already know it's got the connector on it. Alright, that's the main thing right there, bypassing those fuses. Just make sure that you put your fuse at the source of power. If you're using a power supply, put the fuse close to the power supply. If you're running it from your vehicle, put the fuse right at the battery. Okay? Alright, you can see it has the DEI 2879s in it. Okay? And that's how I wired that jack that turned out to have the wrong size opening, so I'll be replacing that for you. Okay, got ready to do some testing, and I have discovered that none of the lights and the switches up here are working. But the amp works. I've got a 500 watt slug on that side on RMS, a 1000 watt slug on that side for peak. So we're reading on the bottom side of that meter, and we're reading on the center scale for that meter. So I'm dead keying about 250 watts. Audio, hello audio, audio 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1. Audio test audio. Showing us about 800 peak. I'm on channel 20, audio 1 2 1 2 audio. But the meter's not working and the lights are not working. So something got damaged in shipment. So I'm going to have to try to figure out what the hell happened. Anyway, more to come. Okay. Got to checking out the amp, and every time I'd key it up, this little resistor here would burn up. So I disconnected the diode, connecting those two, and then that resistor started burning up. I'm going to replace both of them, so don't worry about that. So I got to looking at the circuit to try to figure out what was wrong. See that right there? I think that's a washer. That's shorting everything out. So I got to try to get that out. I may have to take the whole PC board loose. That's why the meter's not working. Okay, more to come. Okay, I got it out. It came out pretty easy actually, but it was damn sure burning up those resistors. And I have no freaking idea where it came from. I don't even see a reason for that size washer to be in here. Unless it's a spacer they put under the board. I bet that's what it was supposed to be. And I bet it came out of position. So I'll have to check that. Make sure. Yeah, see, like this side of the board is setting up over here. And you go back over here and look at this side of the board. It's right down against that. So I bet it's supposed to go underneath that screw right there and space this board apart. Yeah, because look, that screw is up. It's lifted up. After I got the washer out of it, look at there. Yep. Well, it's going to be fun putting that back in. But I will put it back in there. Okay, more to come. Okay. Got the meter all sorted out. And of course, you know about this thing. Had a bad diode, a couple of burn-up resistors, and a couple of wrong value resistors. But went in there and straightened all that out now and replaced them with heavier parts. But the meter works great now. scanner down a little bit. But anyway, I got the new connector Got the stereo plug plugged in. There's your remote box. Let me hook it up to a power supply and turn on real quick. Okay. And there we go. Now this switch over here has no function because there's not enough pins on the stereo jack. Okay, I've got 2 pins I can use. This last pin here is connected to ground. And so we don't want to be able to switch anything to ground, because this one and this one are used to switch on 12 volts. That's what you see there. That LED was too bright, so I dimmed it down. Okay, it would have lit up your whole truck cab at night. So I turned it way down. It's still pretty bright, just like it is, but it's a lot dimmer than what it was. But anyway, this lamp doesn't do anything, and I've put a plug in where that other switch was because we can't use it. Okay. Alrighty. Now let me hook the Lincoln up to it, and let's do some power checks. More to come. Okay, Tim. Well, I'm not going to be able to remote control this one. And the reason is the hard-wired switches. Okay. I pulled up the schematic. See, I was getting feedback into the radio. See that little loop there on S1? That's letting the RF go right back into the radio when it's in the transmit position, because the relay, I've got no way to run it, to move it. In other words, when it's like this, that first set of wires is connected, that first set of connections are connected to the center set constantly, okay, with this out. Now the relay makes these two contact, okay, it makes these two contact, but these two are also still contacted. And let's see if I can find a better way to show you that. Make sure I got the power turned off. Yep. See this contact here, and this contact are all part of one section of the switch. Okay. Right now with the switch off, this contact and this contact are connected. Now when I switch on the remote, the relay makes these two contact, but this one is still connected to this one. Same thing up here. When the relay clicks on, these two make contact. Okay, but this guy here is also still connected to these, to the center. So the only way to make this work is to remove this switch and run it strictly off the remote. And then I'm going to need another relay. In other words, one relay will be for one section of the switch, another relay would be for another section of the switch. But that's the only way to do it, which means I would eliminate this switch. Okay? I had to leave a hole there unless I like hot glued this thing in place or something, but then first time somebody pushed on it, you'd have a hole again. So there's no way for me to do this without screwing up your amplifier. It sure seemed to me like I was able to do this before, but with these switches being hardwired to the board, like I said, that one little loop thing there on both of them, you can't disconnect it. It's always going to be there as long as this switch is out. I need some kind of actuator that would push the switch from the inside. But now we're talking way too much trouble. Like I said, I can remove this switch, just take it completely out, and let the relay do all of the operations. Actually, it would be 2 relays, 2 just like this one. One for this section of the switch, and then one for this section of the switch. And the only way you could operate it is remotely. Okay, you'd have to have the remote plugged in to work the relays. I mean, I can do it. It'll be a big pain in the butt because I got to take this board out to get underneath it to loosen this switch. So, I think we should have just built you a Hornet. The Hornets I can control remotely or on the front, because the switch on the front of the Hornet activates the relay. It's not a hardwired switch like this. Anyway, I will send you an email, see what you want me to do.